I've been on this journey for 20 years, teaching for just about as long, and this is what I know for sure. Learning how to navigate and manage your internal environment, so that's your thoughts and your emotions, is what, as you develop those skills, just about everything else is simply just an enhancement to it. I tell you, this is what we're all looking for. We're looking for an understanding of thoughts and emotions, to kind of simplify it a little bit. And then more importantly, real world ways that we can manage it. Because really, that's where freedom comes from. In the Returning to Zero navigation system that I'm building, one of the things it talks about is that it's not like you don't feel anymore. It's that you know how to manage those feelings. And that's a huge difference, because typically it's either feel everything or feel nothing. And so what this system does is it really helps us to kind of find that happy kind of middle spot, the Goldilocks zone, right? So anyway, so the website's right here. Actually, it looks just like that is what it looks like. But for now, I've got something I call the 5-day quick start, 5-day to relief. And so what it does is, it's because it's a really comprehensive program, but it has this kind of a workbook, if you will, that in 5 days you can actually start to feel some relief. And it has a visual companion guide that goes with it, which I'm going to bring up one of the screens here. And it talks about, if you've been sort of in this genre for any length of time, you'll hear the term used, observer mode, or becoming the observer. So what does that mean? I'm going to show you. So this is one of the slides from the companion guide. Okay. Space is relief. Now, I think this is one of the keys to understanding mechanically what it means when we become the observer. And I really like these graphics, because I think they're very accurate. It's this one here is where most of us are a lot of the time. We are in the middle of all this stuff, right? Now, the observer mode is simply doing this, right? You step outside of it and you're able then to observe it from the outside. Now, granted, that's a heck of a lot easier said than done. That's one of the fundamental skills that are taught in this system, but of course there's 100 different ways to do it, right? And I know for me, I remember the first time I experienced, I think that's a key for me, is I experienced becoming the observer. Or maybe that's the best thing I can say. You look at this and yeah, it gives you sort of that graphical representation of what it looks like from a mechanical perspective. But I don't think it's something you go step 1, step 2, step 3, and now I'm here. You do the practices, you do the protocols, you apply the learnings, and a byproduct of that is you have the observer experience. And as I said, I remember the very first time I experienced that. It would have been the summer of probably 2004, for those of you that are central Alberta or in Red Deer, Bower Ponds. It was a summertime. I'd been meditating on my own, even though I had no clue what I was doing, but I had this desire. Again, another story. Joined a little meditation group, another story. And I was sitting on the side, kind of around the main pond, sitting on the hill. And it was a nice warm summer day, and trying to just being. And it was like in a flash, I started observing my surroundings rather than participating in them. And the best way I can explain it in a graphical way is right here. I went from, and I mean, here we're kind of focusing on this, but just simply being the participant to becoming the observer. And it's the most amazing experience that you will have. And it's one that I can't even articulate using 3-dimensional language. But it allows you the ability to observe what's going on with your thoughts and your emotions, just as it says here, to observe what's going on. Whether you label it anxiousness or just anything, really, it allows you to step back, to step outside, and to see it. And I really like some of the descriptions here. Relief is another way to think of it, right? What you will feel is you feel relief. I really like this. Relief often begins when there's a little space between you and the thought, which is exactly what this is saying, right? And here's the thing. You see, the thought may still be present. The emotion may still be present, but you are no longer completely inside it or encompassed by it. I think that's the thing. You see, we think that to have that feeling of peace, to have that feeling of well-being, we have to stop the thoughts and stop the emotions. That's one of the most common reasons when people would come to our in-person meditation gatherings is they wanted to slow their mind down. And basically what I would explain to them exactly what is here, which is you don't really need to stop the thoughts. We just need to be able to step outside of them. Because your mind is a thinking machine. Emotions are just part of your life experience. It'd be kind of like trying to stop breathing. It just doesn't work, right? And then it talks about, well, yeah, we'll talk about this too. Instead of identifying the feeling, this is who I am, I'll explain this a little bit here. Practice recognizing it as a mechanism. So this is the pattern the system is running. See, this, as it says here, is when you become the I am, right? I am happy, I am sad, I am confused, I am fill in the blanks. You see, well, the really cool thing about this is there's no I am, because now you're looking at it. You're not part of it. And I think, yeah, in so many ways, whatever it is, and as you guys know with me, so meditation is a big thing for me. Reiki is a big thing for me. Even convergence method in many ways. But it allows us, the byproduct of doing that work is you start to become an observer. So it's just kind of a neat thing to kind of hold in your mind, just like that. This is where you are. And this is the byproduct. Many respects, it's a byproduct of growth. Is you step into that place where you become the observer of your experience rather than stuck as a participant. If you want to know more about it, there's a website right there, hemispherelearning.ca. You can check it out. There's a test drive feature. You can try different things. And that's the way it looks. All right, guys. See you on the web.